What's up, everybody? JB coming to you live. I am 100% permanent total Navy Desert Storm veteran. And today's video, I'm going to discuss decision letters and when you're submitting your application for compensation, things you must know. First of all, I want to tell you guys that the VA is notoriously losing documents. I won't say that it's on purpose, but they have been losing documents and not receiving all of your evidence. And if you know anything about the VA or the VA disability process, it's all about the evidence, okay? Now, what I did when I filed in November 2019, I walked my paperwork into a veteran service organization in the Atlanta VA hospital. They usually was on the first floor. I don't know if they changed now, but when I filed in 2019, they was on the first floor, on the floor with the bank. And I got all kind of kickback from the VSO when I filed because I had 11 disabilities I filed at one time. They told me I could not file 11 disabilities at one time, which was incorrect. That's not in the adjudication manual. They also told me that I couldn't file a secondary claim before my direct get connected first, which was also a lie. Then the third thing they said was, you got too many pages that you're faxing in. You got 100 pages. There's nothing in the adjudication manual that says you cannot submit 100 pages for your evidence, okay? Mind you, I'm submitting 11 disabilities, so obviously I got a lot of evidence to go with these claims. So, needless to say, they have you to sign a power of attorney to the Veteran Service Organization, and I don't even see what the purpose of that is because they never helped me with any of my evidence at all. They just told me what they could not do, and I got to put their name on my paperwork. And lo and behold, when I got my 100% permanent total, after they told me I couldn't get these things connected, nobody called me from the VA, the Veteran Service Organization, and said congratulations to me. Nobody congratulated me for getting 100% permanent total. So I said all that to say this: you got to take charge and take ownership with your claim process. You got to make them folks fax it over to them and make them give you copies of every piece of paper that's being faxed over there. I would not send it through the va.gov portal or whatever portal you're using yourself online, because you stand a chance of it being lost. I don't know how many veterans that I've spoken to that have made a decision and that evidence was not in there, such as lay statements or such as the element number 3, medical nexus letters. And that's the very key thing that is required by law that you must have when you filing a claim, and if you have been out the military more than 12 months. I repeat, that is very vital in you winning your claim. And if they don't have that in the evidence box, you're gonna lose or get low ball rated. Simple as that. Okay, I just got off the phone today with the guy that filed migraine secondary to his chronic pain, and his nexus was not in the evidence portion of the decision letter, so he's got to file a higher level review. And I'm just telling you in advance, so you won't have to file a higher level review. You need to make sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed when it comes to your claim. Don't leave it up to them. Take charge, take ownership. The two most important things about your decision letter is the evidence portion and the reason for decision portion. The reason for decision portion will tell you everything that you need to know as far as the favorable findings. Did you have a diagnosis? Did you have a complaint in service? It's going to tell you everything. And then it's going to tell you that they didn't find a link if you don't have a medical nexus letter. So I'm just telling you ahead of time what to expect. I looked at this gentleman's evidence, and it looked like he went to a gunfight with a knife, because all you saw in the evidence was QTC making their opinions. QTC is the Compensation and Pension Examiner company that was examining him for his VA disability. Okay, so I want you to understand that the odds are stacked against you, even when you got all of your evidence together, even when you got your nexus letters, even when you put everything together from New Life Insiders program that we have to offer. You still have to be proactive yourself with submitting your claim. Some of you are lazy when it comes to submitting your claim. Oh, I'll just fax it in myself, or I'll just do it myself. And then when you get denied, you'll call me back and say, hey, JB, and I ain't get service connected. I'm like, well, let's go back and see if all the evidence is there, and let's go back and look at the reason for decision. We're going to find the reasons why. And 9 times out of 10, it's either the VA's fault, and you got to do a high-level review because they didn't review the evidence, or the way you set up your paperwork for your theories of service connection. What do I mean by that? Well, if the paperwork says service connection for migraines and not service connection for migraines secondary to something, there's a pretty good chance that you're not filing it correctly as a secondary. You're filing it as a direct. And if you did not have injury complaint in service for migraines and they can't see it in your service treatment records or personnel records, do you understand? They are so thorough. Not only do they look at your service treatment records, but they look at your Department of Defense personnel records. All the information about your history, your stations, where you went to, where you got stationed at, your units, what theater of operation you was at, what ranks that you hit. They go real deep diving into your files. And if they find that evidence being not true or not in there, they're going to say this service records is incomplete or your service treatment records are silent. So I want you guys to know, look, you up against the behemoth, but you got me on your side to help you guys wade through the process. You need to have someone to guide you through the process. You can try to do it on your own and get mediocre results or get no results at all. But I would not play with time. What do I mean by that? We can't get the last 30 seconds back. We can't get the last minute back. We can't get the last few years back. And in my case, I couldn't get the last 25 years back. What do I got out in 1995. I didn't file till November 19. I didn't get awarded to 2020. From 1995 separating in September to March of 2020, I was without 100% permanent total. If you do that through the math over those 25 years, that's over $1 million in benefits. And I believe in licking the calf one time. I believe in doing it right the first time. I don't like the two-step anything. Two steps are fun when you're dancing, but two-stepping with the VA, going second or third time, trying to resubmit this, so I'll do this now, then I'll file the next. I don't want the VA to keep opening up my C-file. I want them to open up my C-file one time and one time only, because I'm going to take my time and get compliant to Title 38 Part 4. I want you to take your time and get compliant to Title 38 Part 4. Check off the boxes. Do I have a diagnosis? Number 1. Boom. Number 2, do I have an in-service event complaint, or are we filing it secondary? Boom. Number 3, do we have a medical nexus from a private doctor that's credible enough to provide not only the high likelihood, but the medical rationale? Boom. Do I have the severities clearly articulated in my statement of support of claim? Do I have my severity clearly articulated in the medical nexus letter? Do I have my severity clearly articulated in memory, so when I'm talking to my CMP examiner, I can just ravel off my symptoms? You got to get in the mindset to bring your A game. Are you gonna bring your A game, or you gonna just play with this because you got a good job and everything is hunky-dory, all that good stuff? But I'm gonna tell you something. I just turned 50. We don't have time on our side. I don't probably have another 50 years on this planet. I had to come to Jesus about that. I had to come to the Lord about that. I mean, I thank him for giving me 50 years on this planet. But I probably have more years behind me than I have before me. Okay? I don't even know if I have the next 25 years like I lost from the past. And you got to ask yourself, do you even know when your expiration date is? Nobody knows. But are you going to let fear, misinformation, doubt, and lack of money deter you from what's rightfully yours, tax-free? And oh, by the way, it's not only just tax-free, but you get a raise every January in less than 30 days right now. Today is what, December the 8th or whatever. in 22 days or 23 days, we're going to get a raise for not doing anything. It's just complimentary for your service. Every January, we're going to get a raise. It may not be as much this time, 3.2%, but where can you go invest some money to get a huge return on back pay, month after month after month, tax-free money, and get it increased every January? The only thing that does that is COLA on a retirement check or COLA on a military check. But you got to spend your time working. This is a profound opportunity for you to execute. And then next year, in 2024, there are some changes that will be coming down. And you got to face those changes. I suggest act now. Go to newlifeinsider.com. Again, newlifeinsider.com. Let's get your VA disability consult out the way. Let's find areas of opportunity. Let's execute. Let's take action. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.